With our quarantine days nearing an end, I think that most people are still thinking, why isn't the world a better place? It was supposed to be a better place with all the stuff that we've done, right? I mean, we haven't had a world war in over 70 years. We've taken men outside in space. We have built rockets, planes, cars, gadgets. There are gadgets for everything today, a gadget for vacuuming, a gadget for mopping floors, a gadget for anything. Yet, all of these things have not made us happier. In fact, there's over 260 million people in the world that have depression today. And this is not just the 99%, by the way, the 99% of people versus the 1%. There's a lot of people on the 1% that have, all the, financial means that they could ever want or need for generations to come, and yet they're still unhappy. So it's not related to a financial situation. It's more like related to a situation of the soul or the spirit. One of the key ingredients that I believe is the reason why most people feel like their life is their own prison. In other words, they feel trapped, they feel unhappy, they feel like they want to move something somewhere else, or they rather be somewhere else and than in their own life. And I think a key ingredient is that we have replaced as a species our spirituality with science. Science that, we love science because we can quantify and we can, do tests and we can set the parameters and it's very controllable. Unfortunately, when we do that, we leave a major part outside, which is related to God, which is related to our own consciousness. It's related to many things that we cannot quantify. So for science, if we cannot quantify, then just rule it out, right? And that's just not the right approach here. Our ancestors, before we came, they knew about this. They knew about this stuff. They knew about spirituality in a much deeper way than we do. And when white men came, actually, they were called Witika, which means actually somebody who has a disease of the spirit. And this is the reason why you see so many people that are extremely connected. We are an extremely connected society digitally, but we are extremely disconnected spiritually. And in that disconnection, we have allowed for a wheel of progress that is not benefiting us. The wheel of progress related to these big agricultural systems creating food that is not the best for us, that is making us sick, and then a pharmaceutical company providing us with a pill for that ill and for that illness, and saying, well, if you take this pill, everything will be all right. You don't need to change anything about yourself. You don't need to do introspection on what is going on, why you're sick. Just take the pill and that's it, right? And because it's based on science, or that's what they claim, then you don't need to question it because it's been proven, it's been everything, right? FDA approved, etc. So this has delivered us with a large majority. I mean, we are evolving, that's what I believe. But this has led us to a large majority of people in a very low vibrational frequency level. Most of people, if you look at the books like The Power versus Force, for instance, which is a great book, where you see these levels of consciousness, of vibrational frequencies. And most people, most humans on Earth are below 200s, which is where shame, pride, and other low vibrational frequencies are. The good news is that a few people on higher vibrational frequencies will actually compensate for millions of people on lower vibrational frequencies. The other good news is that a lot of people are evolving. I saw this statistic about, I think in the early 2000s, it was about 4% of people meditated in the US. And I think the number is now above 15%. So I don't know. I'm part of that statistic actually, probably because I didn't meditate before, and now I do on a daily basis. So, anyway, what can we do to break out of this prison that we have built ourselves? Well, there's a good news. Like Gary John Bishop says, you are the problem, but you are also the solution. Okay, and the solution, from my perspective, is to flip a switch. And what do I mean by flip a switch? I mean by flipping a switch is from an external outside world to an internal world. And it's related to the fact that very few of us live in the present moment. The present moment, if you want to learn how to live in the present moment, just observe a young child, and you will learn how to live in the present moment. If you observe with intent to learn, you will learn how to live in the present moment, because that child does not know it was Monday and then it was Tuesday and then it was Wednesday and then Thursday you have this appointment and blah 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 blah. It does not know any of that. So he or she is able to enjoy the present moment more. And there's a very cool video. I can look it up if you like me to, but with Alan Watts, and he's describing how to wash the dishes, and that really sunk in, because I used to hate washing the dishes, but I just did it anyway. But actually, I saw this video where he's talking about you don't look at the pile that you have left, and you don't look at the pile that you've done. You just look at the dish or the plate that you have in your hands, and that's the only dish that you're washing. And then you're washing just one dish, and then when you're done with that, you put that in the pile, and then you grab the next one, and then you just do the same thing. You just focus on that one dish. When I heard that the first time, I thought it was ridiculous. But I said I'm going to try. I'm willing to try, and I tried it, and it works. It works for anything. If you're at work, instead of thinking, oh, I'm leaving at 5 in 30 minutes, in 40, like, or thinking, oh, I've been here, 3 hours, or I have 3 more hours, or etc. You actually think, well, I have to do this paper, so let me work on this paper, and you just focus on that paper, and then you focus on the next paper, and focus on the next activity, and that's how you achieve living in the present moment and enjoying life more. That's how you go out of the prison. And related to the inside and outside perspective, when you flip the switch to the inside, so many things happen in a major way. The inside perspective is related to a lot of things. I'll explain. First, most of us are thinking, when I have something, I'll be happy. So when I have a better job, I'll be happy. When I dump my boyfriend, I'll be happy. When I have the next boyfriend, I'll be happy. When I move, I'll be happy. When I travel to a different country, I'll be happy. When I am on vacation, when I am retired, when there's something, you replace that with whatever you tell yourself. So you put that, fill the blanks, and then I'll be happy. And when you flip the switch, because from that perspective, you're thinking about an external thing. When you flip the switch to an internal thing, you put the happy first. So you say, I am happy. I am happy now. I'm happy with what I have. Thank you for what I have. And then the rest of the things are going to start aligning. You try that. You try that for a few days. I know a lot of people say, no, that doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. Just try it. Just try it. Pretend that you're happy right now. You have everything you need. All the stuff that happened to you is just, part of your learning experience, and to this point. And then that's when you start really becoming a happy person. And the same thing translates to other things like passion. Most people think passion is something that you go on on a Amazon jungle, and you find the golden idol that you open up, and it has the secret to whatever passion you're supposed to pursue. But it's not that way. You flip the switch and you think, well, I'm going to start looking for the passion inside, because finding your passion is not an external thing. It's actually an internal thing. It's more about uncovering what things you like to do in life, like what things make you happy, and in what things you are good at, and just start saying, what, these are the things that I'm good at, so I'm going to do more of these. And then that leads you into a pursuit for passion, for your purpose in life. But it's an internal pursuit. So you don't require the Amazon trip and the the plane and and everything. And also, when you find that, you might find that not all of us, most of us have been sold that we have to become these Mother Teresas or these Gandhis or these, higher beings that have this huge purpose. Your purpose might not be that to impact billions of people. It might be to impact 100 people, or it might be to impact 10 people. It doesn't matter how many you impact, as long as you are on that road, you'll be fulfilled, and the people that you impact will be fulfilled. So it's a win-win, right? And last but not least, another example is love. It's love. We've also been sold the idea that love, we have to go and search for the perfect mate in a castle, and uh, kiss the princess, and then be happily ever after. And that also doesn't happen that way. Love is actually an internal state. It's a state of being. And when you can reach that state of being, then and the rest of the people around you will feel that state of being, and then they will reflect that as a part of you, as a mirror. So I've seen this with kids. Parents who are completely loving, who are in love with their lives, who are love, in that state of being. The kids actually reflect that state of being, of love and of happiness. So that, in my perspective, is the way to break out of the prison that you have created in your own mind, uh, as far as your life. And I hope this you find this helpful. Try it for a few days. Try it. Flip the switch. Go inside, completely inside instead of outside, and let me know how it goes. Okay. I hope that you like this video, and please remember to like and share with anybody that you feel it might be helpful. And I do have a Patreon page. If you want to contribute as low as $1, I will be more than thankful. Thank you, and I'll catch you on the next one.